Hello, mixtresses and mixters. I barely did anything. I didn't even put any rings on or anything. I'm going to do a quick. This is I'm saying goodbye to these decks. So some of these decks, these are just decks that I've had. I keep like decks in like this little purgatory space where whenever I think that they're just not working for me, and it's time to pass them on, I kind of put them in my spare bedroom in this little um, dresser drawer thing that I have in there. Um, and so these are all decks that have been in that space for a while now, and I'm ready to move them on. I wanted to show them off just for my own posterity, saying goodbye to these decks, remembering, because sometimes when you want to like get rid of decks, you might later think you want them again. But this way I'll be able to look at this and be like, okay, yeah, that's why that deck didn't work for me. Yeah, totally. Don't need it again. But also because I'm going to provide the link in the video description in case you want to. I'm going to put these up on eBay as like a lot. It's one Oracle deck and 1, 2, 3, 4 tarot decks. So it's a small lot, but I'm going to put them up on eBay because my plan is all of these decks, actually, with the exception of one. Well, I don't know. One of them I'm not sure. Are decks that have only white people in them. So in order to like go with my plan to only feature decks that have diversity in them from now on my channel and with my YouTube or with my Etsy clients, I wanted to the general idea, I'm gonna set it up as an auction. One, because I want other people to decide what these are worth to them, and two, because I want to use whatever money I can get for them to directly put back into buying more tarot and oracle decks that are diverse. So, I mean, these are all mass market decks. I might as well just start flipping through them while I'm babbling. These are all mass market decks that you can easily get a hold of. So it's not like I think I'm going to make a lot of money, but I might make enough to buy like one or two other more diverse decks. But I want to put that money directly back into helping to diversify the decks that I have. So I'll put the link to the eBay listing. It'll probably be like a 10-day listing or something. So if you end up seeing this later, then it might be too late, but I'm just gonna do like a little flip through. Oh my god, have I put this one in order? I guess I did. This one's in order. So this is one, Raven Phelan. I need to turn my light on in here. Not that it makes a huge difference, but it makes some difference. This is one I do appreciate the artwork. I appreciate that this is a slightly different way of seeing. There are a few people of color in this deck. That's not the primary reason I'm getting rid of this one. It never really worked for me. I even went through, oh my god, so if you do, I need to tell you guys all the alterations I made to these decks too in this little goodbye video. So I have edged this deck in this sort of like Crown Royal bag purple is what I call it. And I made a list of my own associations with, like, I think of Abundance card 15 as Wheel of Fortune. I made my own correspondences to regular tarot, because this isn't, so I think of this as the Wheel of Fortune card, but I made my own tarot correspondences, and I even like wrote them in the guidebook too. So that extra stuff will be available. I thought it would help me understand it better, but it was one of those decks that like I kept meaning to work with it, because I knew I was going to have to spend extra time on this one to sort of get to know it properly. And I just never did it. And then I got to a point, this was several months ago, where I really I was already thinking about like having more diverse decks, and I don't want to keep ones that just really don't have diversity. And since this is one I didn't ever really connect to anyway, it's a goodbye for me. Next, Tarot of the She. This one I do not have the box anymore. And alterations that I've made to it, I have edged it in this gorgeous, like, dusty fuchsia. And I have trimmed it because it had big black borders all around the sides, and I trimmed the sides. And I trimmed the sides, rounded the corners, and left the top and bottom borders. I love the artwork in this deck. I even like the keywords. I don't mind that, like, you know, the different associations, like Dreamer is air/swords, Dancer is water/cups. I don't mind that. And this cardstock it's awesome. Oh, I love this Temperance card. I love it. Some of the artwork I'm just completely in love with, and then some of the artwork just doesn't work for me. So this was one that I just decided to get rid of because it's only white people in this deck. I mean, yeah, they're all fairies, but it just, for me, since I didn't ever fully connect to it, why keep it if it's not diverse and I can't use it for clients and on my YouTube channel? So this is going to be, this one I had a little bit of trouble when I was trimming. Like you can see, like, it was just a hard one to trim. So there's just a little bit of like corner yuckiness. So that's Tarot of the She. So if you do bid on the eBay, you're not going to get a box for that, but I will like at least wrap it in some bubble wrap or something. This is the one Oracle deck that's going to be in the lot. Queen of the Moon Oracle. I've gotten a lot of like, oh, I think this one's in order too, isn't it? Yep. I've gotten a lot of like, I haven't done any alterations to this deck at all. I haven't even edged it. I just really didn't ever connect to this deck personally. I like that it has the moon phases, like really precise moon phases. So it has waxing crescent 1, waxing crescent 2, waxing crescent 3, waxing crescent 4. So you could really go through and like have a daily moon card with this deck. And it's a collage deck. It's just the art just didn't end up working for me. And for some reason there are some people of color in this deck though. A few, I think, if I remember correctly. I mean, like, maybe 3 or something, you know? There's the third one. That's an Asian person, maybe. So, I mean, it's like, if you like this art style, it is, you know, it's a good deck, and it's got a lot of moon phase. Very specific moon phases, man. And it's got each month's moon as well. So that's one that I just like barely used. I just didn't ever connect to it. And I ended up going back to, I have the Moonology Oracle. Ended up going back to that after getting rid of it for a while. Okay, next, Chicoli Tarot. This is another one. I don't think I've done any alterations to this one. Nope, I never edged it. I didn't trim it. And this is just another one that, like, it's just the exact same explanation as most of these, like, decks that I never fully connected to, that have all white people in them. I'm just not going to keep them. So this is one that's actually been in the purgatory drawer for, I don't know, 6 months more. I like the artwork. I like some of the, like, did I do alterations to the guidebook? Is this one of those? Yes. Okay. A lot of the time with the Los Scarabeo guidebooks, I will rip out the pages that are not English, just because I don't need them. So I did that with this. So that's the only alteration I've done to this deck. So goodbye to Nicoletta Ciccoli Tarot. Remember, the last one is Antique Anatomy Tarot. This one is not, this one doesn't even have like any gender or color in it at all, because it's all skeletons. So this one's not, I wouldn't consider this not a diverse deck, but I just never connected to it. I think they're coming out with another edition of it that has better cardstock, but I actually don't mind this cardstock. I know a lot of people complain about it, but it's fine. I mean, I've shuffled it many times. I mean, it's going to get a little crackly on the edges, but it's just going to enhance the antiqued look that it already has. I mean, I think it's gorgeous, but I just never connected to it. This is one that, like, now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, I don't know. I kind of like it. The guidebook is, I've done no alterations to this deck at all. No edging, no trimming. Didn't mark in the guidebook or anything. It's a gorgeous guidebook. Full color. It's got all this really cool stuff in it. So if you're new to tarot, this would be a great guidebook to have, because it gives history of tarot, numerology in the tarot, astrology in the tarot, elements in the tarot, color in the tarot. It's really cool. It's a good guidebook. Got your traditional Celtic cross spread. It's a really great little book. And the box is nice and sturdy, and I actually like the way that it works when you put the just put the cards in this little, get some of my dog hair out of there. Nobody wants that. I like how it fits in there. It just fits really well. They don't ever end up like sliding around. And because it's, and it fits on your shelf and just looks beautiful. It just, you know, it's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous deck. I just never really connected to it. And I think it's because, like, I already have Santa Muerte and Marigold Tarot, like 2 other skeleton decks. And so this one was just, and I found, for whatever reason, personally, anytime I have a deck that has like that sort of antiqued look to it, I don't end up liking it. I think it's because in my brain, I have like this tick where it's like, if it's not actually antiqued, it bugs me. If it's just an effect that makes it look like it's antiqued, I don't like it. And it's silly, but I mean, looking at it, anyway. So this is all that's going to be in my little eBay auction that you can see the link below. If you do see this before, like, God, I guess I'm going to list it today on June 12th. So it'll probably be up, let's see. It'll probably be up through like the 20th or 23rd. Yeah. And it's just, I'm just going to like start the bidding at like, I don't know, $5 or something plus shipping. And, you know, all of these are easy to find decks, so I don't expect to get a lot of money for it. But again, like I said, my whole goal for this is to go ahead and use the money that I make from this little auction to buy more diverse decks. So I'm at the very least going to get Earth Warriors Oracle. I think that's going to be a good one to have and use. Yeah, anyway, let me know also in the comments if you have any suggestions for diverse tarot and oracle decks. I have a pretty good collection of diverse tarot decks, but not my oracle deck collection needs work. So let me know if you have any suggestions for that, and check out the eBay auction if you're interested in these tarot and oracle deck. tarot decks and oracle deck. Yes. Anyway, have a good weekend, guys.